Yes.
Exactly.
Welcome. How have you been?
Me, I've been okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a wonderful weekend. I've been chilled in. But generally, so far so good.
Are you a simp?
Of course, I can never be a simp.
Yes.
I can never be a simp.
Yes. Right, Aura, today we want to talk about masturbation. Masturbation is a silent pandemic.
Wow.
And masturbation is really messing our men. Just the other day, I recruited a man, 42 years old, who's been masturbating for the last 15 years. And it has really affected him, including his marriage, because he's unable to have satisfactory sex with his wife. In your opinion, why do people masturbate?
Eric, hey, thank you. Masturbation is, I think, it's a dicey topic, but it's a topic that I think is important for us to discuss as men.
Mm.
You know, masturbation, I know, is most of us, both men and women, in our teenagehood, in our into adulthood, or when we were exploring ourselves and getting to know ourselves, encountered or had such an experiment with masturbation. And I think this is natural. You know, you get to you want to identify yourself. You want to know what body part of yours can do A, B, C, D. So we've all been there, and I think, okay, let me say most of us have all been there. So the first thing I will say is masturbation first began when people wanted to explore their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is as I've said, early on in life, and mostly in teenagehood. Now, getting into adulthood, it becomes I think in our 20s, into between 20 and 30, I think our sex drives are higher. We are these bulldogs who want to move around and be on anything. Now, masturbation comes in when there is sexual dissatisfaction. The dissatisfaction comes around when either one, you are not getting some, or the some that you are getting doesn't satisfy you.
Yes.
So masturbation becomes complementary. So I would, exactly at that point, that is where I would equate it to be. Maybe moving, if you're still masturbating between, let's say, between 30 and 40, the ages of 30 and 40 and above, I think it just boils down to sexual frustration. Nothing else. And now it has evolved from an exploration to an addiction now.
To a habit.
Yes, it's now a habit. Now it's now you can't do without it. Whether or not, it becomes difficult, for you to just stop. You'd rather sneak out from your wife and go masturbate.
Masturbation and pornography addictions are habits, and they are bad habits. They mess your sexual life and eventually your relationships. And particularly masturbation will lead to erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and in women, it will lead to low libido. And in men, low self-esteem and zero confidence. That's what masturbation addiction leads to. It starts as exploration, just the way people start smoking in school. They just want to explore and see, what is this smoke that we smoke? Then they get addicted to it. You understand?
Yes, but then maybe, Eric, just to ask,
yes.
Do you think masturbation is good at some point?
No, it's not.
Ever?
No, it's not. It's not good.
What if?
It's like asking me. Do you think using cocaine is good at some point?
It can never be.
Exactly.
Okay, imagine a scenario where you're not you're not let's say you and your wife's libido are not at par.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Aren't you instead of cheating, instead of cheating or looking for another woman, do you think that masturbation is the lesser devil?
No, it's the worst devil. It's better look for another woman. And
Wow.
and you see, there are religion, there are communities that allow you to get another woman. It's allowed. Why masturbate? Bravin, I'm back to you.
Yes.
Omad.
Yeah.
How did you start Omad? Omad, for those who are listening, Omad is 1 meal a day.
Yes. Basically, when I started it, I did not just start like niliamua to like let me now start doing 1 meal. I started pole pole. I started by avoiding the breakfast because I came to realize that I used to actually eat a bit late because nilikuwa nakula around 10 to around 11. So after that, I'm heading to bed. So waking up again, eating, I felt like it's not necessary because that energy, I hadn't used it because nilikuwa nimedala. So I started by avoiding it. So I was doing, it was more of a brunch. I was doing breakfast and lunch at the same time at around 12 there. So with time, I came to see I can push the stretch. Yes. Instead of just doing the brunch, I just do the supper because I used to always be okay even if I don't eat. Nilikuwa na lunch just because akili imeniambia inafaa nikule. It wasn't that nilikuwa nahitaji. So it was just the mentality. I came to realize it's the mentality. So nilikuwa naitisha chakula not because my body wants it, but because my mind tells me I want to eat. So nikaanza kuadjust from doing brunch, then I just did supper alone. So ilikuwa ni when I eat, I make sure nakula supper from between 6 to around 8. So after that, nangojea till the next day, I eat at the same time. So saizi nika-adjust. I did it for the adjustment ilinichukua like 3 weeks. So nika get into the mood of now doing 1 meal a day totally. So right now it's like a lifestyle for me. Niko sawa if I eat once, saizi supper, I'm okay the whole day mpaka kesho supper. So with that, hata in between maybe maji nikunywe hapa na pale, but I don't do any other thing in between. So niko sawa at the moment. I'm very okay. I can't complain about it, and I'm confident with Omad. I'm very comfortable with it.
Do you practice autophagy marathon?
Yes, actually nikiona timeline huwa naeka nini saa yangu very 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 alert. Na na join in na naanzisha at the same time. So actually combine when I realized that inafaa tuanze autophagy at that time, the last meal should be that time. That's when now kama ingefaa nikule supper at a specific time na sikuwa nimekula, I make sure that at least ina align na ile time yenye tunaanza autophagy so that my meal inaisha immediately venye tunaanza. So when we close na join in, then we continue till when autophagy ends, then I go back to Oman.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'll still come back to you. Aura.
Yes, Eric.
I'm waiting for Princess Omar and some guy called Pilot Mohanguzi is a pilot. I'm also waiting for some other 2 guys. They are unable to get in. I think guys don't know how to maneuver through this technology of space. So, how do people get hooked to masturbation? Aura.
Sorry, Eric?
How do men get hooked to masturbation? How do they get addicted? What makes them get addicted to masturbation?
I think one, as you said, there is a correlation between pornography and masturbation. You know, it's very difficult to just masturbate on, when you're watching football or when you're when you're driving,
But we've seen people who masturbate when driving.
Is it?
Yeah, we've seen that. Even when, when they're just standing in the streets, they just masturbate.
Okay, I feel those are extreme cases. But let me say, for most people, masturbation is triggered by pornography. You get? Yes. So once you're addicted to pornography, chances of you being addicted to masturbation are higher. That is what I can say. Yes, just for starters. Now, the other thing is, as I've said, if you feel like your partner is not satisfying you, and I feel this one happens. I've had women mentioning that, that sometimes us men, we never get them to orgasm, so they'd rather just masturbate themselves off and sleep. So that is usually another excuse that can get one hooked to masturbation. But from my point, I think pornography, that is the biggest driver, the biggest driver of masturbation.
Masturbation is just like any other habit. And if you've read Atomic Habits by James Clear, a habit has got 4 main phases. Cue, that is the trigger. Craving, that's the need. Response, now the action itself of masturbating. And then reward. So as you talk about a habit like masturbation, we bring in a neurochemical called dopamine. That is what makes people get addicted to masturbation. They can do anything to feed their dopamine. Anything. They can sabotage their lives. They can sabotage their plans. They can masturbate even when they are walking, because they are craving so much to feed their dopamine. Because dopamine is that feel-good hormone. I mean, feel-good happiness hormone. So they want to feed it, so they will masturbate. Something that guys need to know is that masturbation, just like a habit, it is, they call it autocalytic. It feeds itself. It fosters the same feeling that it tries to numb. So you feel sexually starved, then you masturbate. But because you masturbate, you continue feeling sexually starved, and again you masturbate. So it becomes a cycle. Masturbation, you end up encoding it in your mind, and you are ready to use it whenever a situation arises. So whenever there is a cue, whenever there is something that in your environment that triggers you, you will masturbate. Your environment. For example, watching porn, admiring a naked woman, sending sexts to women, writing very luscious texts on Twitter and whatever, or following accounts that talk about sex all the time, you end up masturbating. And masturbation becomes a habit and you get addicted to it. It doesn't matter if you are satisfied during sex or not, you will still masturbate. I've had clients who come to me and they say, I have a wife, we have sex, good sex, she climaxes well, I ejaculate, she ejaculates, but immediately after sex, I rush to the bathroom to masturbate. Because it's become an addiction. It doesn't get... Sorry, yes.
Yeah, maybe if I can ask.
Yes.
Is the addiction of masturbation synonymous with sex addiction? Is there a correlation? And would you rather be a sex addict? Is sex addiction good, or would you rather just complement it with masturbation, or are the two related?
No, they are not related, of course. They are not related, and it's like asking me, is eating food same as taking cocaine? They are not related. So masturbation on its end is just about feeding your dopamine, because the people who do it don't like it. They don't like it, but they have to do it. And that's why when they are addicted, they hate it. They hate themselves after that episode of masturbation. And the biggest problem with masturbation is that you can't satisfy your woman because the brain has been wired to get sexual satisfaction through masturbation. You have rewired yourself. Your sex centers in the brain only recognize masturbation as the only route to sexual satisfaction. So the moment you go down with your woman, you may not even erect because the brain is telling you, boss, this is not what we do. We masturbate, you know? Or the moment you just start having sex with your woman, immediately something triggers you in the brain, says, boss, this is not what we want. We want the other one. That's what we want. So you just do sex within 2 to 3 minutes. You want to finish very fast, then rush to the bathroom and start masturbating.
And Eric, maybe if I can also ask again, huh?
Yes.
What do you think about couples who masturbate in front of each other? Is it a form of intimacy, or is this something that is born out of, as you say, just a dopamine effect?
Yeah, it's just dopamine flick, and it's foolishness. It's just foolishness. Jose, I can see you in the space. Do you want to say something?
Okay, mine is a question.
Yes.
Concerning this topic of masturbation.
Yes.
I read somewhere there are people who masturbate. Okay, they can't sleep, so they must masturbate. Then, in order to sleep, what do you say about that?
All right. It's just a habit that they have formed. Just like someone who must smoke for them to sleep. It's just or they must drink. If they don't drink, they will not sleep. So it's a habit that they have formed in them, in their mind. It's encoded in them that without masturbating, I cannot sleep. And of course, they say masturbation, when you're addicted to masturbation, you're feeding your dopamine and also feeding your other, hormones that prepare you to sleep. So these are guys who must masturbate, raise their dopamine, raise the other neurochemicals of the brain for them to sleep. That is an addiction.
Yeah.
That is a sickness which must be treated. They are not well.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Bravin, I'm back to you. When you stopped sugar, did you get any side effects?
Yeah. Actually, I can say kitu cha kwanza nilikuwa napata cravings. I used to have the cravings for sugar. You want to substitute it with something. Then I used to get some headaches, some serious headaches. That is. Mm-hmm. It took me almost a week, I should say. I started ilibidi nimeanza kulamba chumvi to cool down the headache and do some water, too much water to actually get back to normal. But I used to get some serious headaches for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Trevor, I can see you are in the space. What do you want to tell us? Trevor Irungu, please speak. Trevor Irungu, I'm waiting for you to speak. Shiko.
I think you need to add them as speakers in order for them to speak.
I've done that. I've added Trevor. I can see his mic is off. Shiko.
Hey, Eric.
How are you?
Everyone. I'm well.
Welcome to my space.
I'm learning a lot. Thank you very much. I think I'm learning a lot, and I like the way you're having this conversation about health and also in terms of the sexual and dietary kind of health. It's important. I'm a young mother raising a young boy, so I'm learning a lot on his behalf. But maybe I would want to add something on the issue of specifically masturbation.
Okay.
I've dealt with cases of young boys who've been like really addicted to this, and I call them boys because I think they're still growing and they're still trying to find themselves. And I think it's more also of a mental issue. It's a habit, like you said, something they've grown into, but also found it as a way of running away from their mental issues.
Okay.
So, and I keep saying that if you find yourself, many of them are saying masturbation is one way. And for me, understanding your body as a woman is knowing your partner and knowing what satisfies you before you
Correct.
satisfy your partner. Because you cannot give what you don't have.
Correct.
And you're not able to satisfy your partner if you're not able to understand what satisfies you. So if you find yourself being satisfied by masturbation, then your partner cannot
Correct.
satisfy you. I don't know if this applies to men, but for me as a woman, this is what I feel and this is what I think.
What is your feeling when you realize that your man masturbates?
I will die. I would leave him. Why are you masturbating? Why do you have me? I think, and I think one thing that you don't do, Eric, I'm not sure if men here do it though. A majority of people do not discuss sex and satisfaction with their partners.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that sex is two-way and you cannot have it by yourself. So, I don't know. I don't think I would sit down and acknowledge my man masturbating. I think the next thing I'll do is just...
Is your man fat, Shiko?
No,
Okay.
he's not. I force him into my diet.
Amazing. Don't date fat men.
No, I force
Yes.
him into my diet, and one thing for sure is that we do detox every 2 months together for 14 days. And the most amazing thing is that at some point I know some men used to call him a simp because I forced him into this. But then for me it was about his health. There's a time that he suffered from gastritis for quite a long time. And so I had to force diets on him. There are days where we go without beef for a long time. But for me, it's about having him as a priority, his health as a priority. I don't think anyone wants to date an healthy kind of man. I don't think it offers any pleasure.
Like the story I've just shared a few minutes ago about a man who has just hit his woman and the woman has reported him to the police. Mm-hmm. It is very bad because I have to, and this man follows me. And I tweet and say that alcoholism is the #1 enemy for any man. The moment you get addicted to alcohol, that relationship is going down under. It may not be going down now, but it will go down under. Because one, as a man, you will lose your self-esteem because of alcohol. It will reach a time you will have erectile dysfunction. You cannot erect. Or you have premature ejaculation. Yeah. And then issues begin. You start fighting your wife. You start abusing her. And that relationship goes down, under, and under, and under. So for me, I think you're right. Mm-hmm. No woman should date a fat man. And if you are a lean man and you get into a relationship, ensure you remain lean. Because we've been there before. We know what obesity leads in a relationship.
Yeah, and stress can also lead into
no, it
obesity.
cannot. Stress cannot. So, what leads to obesity is eating and eating like a pig. Maybe what you could say is because they are stressed, they are eating a lot. They are staying at home.
They eat a lot.
Yeah, they stay at home. They eat. Yeah. They stay on the sofa because they think life is unfair. So they eat and eat and eat until they get fat. And then they say, I was fat because of stress. They were not fat because of stress. They were fat because they were eating. All right? Yeah. So, Bravin, you've heard what Shiko has said.
Yes, I have.
Do you have, how many girlfriends do you have?
I just have one.
You just have one. Are you a lawyer man?
Not a girlfriend, that is a wife. That is.
Are you a lawyer man?
Of course, yes.
Luya men don't have one. If you want to know a Luya man does not have one, wait till the day he will die. That's when you'll see other women coming from there. And you see those kids from other women really resemble the man on that eulogy booklet. So anyway, you are not fat. Is your woman happy now that you've lost weight?
Yes, she is.
Are you having good sex with her?
She's, of course. I've never had bad sex with her. Even with everything, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How sure are we? Because because you can just be free. Just tell us, when I was fat, I struggled to have sex and make a climax. But today, now that I've lost weight, I am doing it better.
I can't say it used to be extremely okay back then, but I can say it's much back on track right now. Now that I'm a bit less overweight, because I can say there is less fatigue, there is less backache, so it's more fun, more enjoyable. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's your view on masturbation? Because right now I have close to 110 young men who are addicted to masturbation, and I'm taking them through healing. So it is a pandemic. What is your view on masturbation?
I wouldn't recommend anyone to be engaging in it, despite all the scientific whatever they say that they are the pros of it. But I think at the end of the day, I wouldn't advocate for it. As much as unajua hata even alcohol, they say it's good for your health, but at the end of the day, there is the addiction that comes after. So it's the same way, as much as some, but let me say, like, probably professionals or researchers might say it has the advantages, but at the end of the day, you'll realize that it comes with the addiction, and now the addiction becomes more of a difficult thing to abandon. So you'd rather not get into it the same way you'd rather not get into alcoholism. I would not advocate for it. Yeah. So pro-no masturbation.
You're pro-no masturbation. So the people who say masturbation is good because it helps you fight cancer of the prostate, do you think they are being fair to these young men?
I think it's more of marketing. So I can say, because they'll say that it inakusaidia, probably it will help to prevent the prostate cancer. I also believed on the same, but I came to realize that if you want to do masturbation, why not get a girl? That is, why not get a woman, have more sex? Because they also say when you have frequent sex, it will help you not get the prostate cancer. So you'd rather engage in sex rather than doing the masturbation, because at the end of the day, the sex might be okay when you're not doing the masturbation, but when you bring the masturbation into the sex will not be okay. At the end of the day, it will damage your sex life. Utafika wakati you're going into a woman, just the warmth in there inafanya everything comes out. So in a bikini, you cannot perform in bed. You can't even have a stable relationship, because already you have a relationship with your hand. Okay. So it becomes a bit tricky. Yeah.
You have a relationship with your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you something about the law of least effort. You see, the brain really wants to spare or to conserve the energy or the glucose in your body. So when deciding between two similar options, the brain will naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work. For example, if someone tells you walk from Nairobi CBD to Kasarani, and then another one tells you take this motorbike and ride to Kasarani, you will pick the motorbike. Despite the fact that walking is more beneficial to your health, you'll pick the motorbike because you want to conserve that energy. It is not you, it is your brain. So people masturbate because seducing a woman is a very long thing. It involves a lot of things, money, time, your resources. So this man says, I better masturbate because I don't want to get an STI, because I don't want to spend my few coins, because my house is dirty. I don't want women to come here. So this person chooses masturbation. And as they choose masturbation, it becomes a habit. They get addicted to it, and then that's it. Even when the day they get married, they will still masturbate. And of course, they will have issues to do with, sexual failure, erectile failure in the course of that relationship. They cannot sustain an erection for even more than 5 minutes or even 6 minutes. They can't. So masturbation has to be fought as much as we can. If you have someone who is masturbating, you need to talk to them and tell them that whatever they are doing may be good right now, but in 5 years' time, it will be an issue in their sexual life. And the first thing that I usually tell the guys in my clinic is to do away with the cues. Do away with the things that trigger you. Pornography. Do away with pornographic material in your phone. Do away with those dating apps. Get out of those groups and channels that talk about masturbation. They share those photos of pornography, people having sex, people talking about sex. Get out of WhatsApp groups that talk about sex and women and alcohol and nothing. So you begin by, being the architect of your environment. Because for all this time, you've been the victim of your environment. Now it is now the other way around. You need to begin redesigning your environment to favor you so that you stop masturbating. I am back to Aura.
Amerix,
yes.
Before you move ahead.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
I used to have this friend who used to masturbate, and it became chronic.
Yes.
To an extent where if this guy actually just came into contact with a lady, he could get an erection, and in a minute his pants are wet already. So he's already ejaculated just because of getting into contact with such a person. Mostly, even when we were engaging in discussions, and the presenter, or rather the teacher, was a female teacher, that is, the guy couldn't even concentrate because he could have even multiple ejaculation in the same class. So it became very uncomfortable for him. Actually, he decided to quit even the classes because it was becoming chronic for him to an extent he could not concentrate. So, and he started it way earlier, way back in primary. So I've seen people who have become too addicted to it to an extent where they cannot pull out at a later in the stage. So inakuwa ni ngumu for them even to concentrate in their normal lives. So I cannot, most of the people who probably say it's okay, they haven't witnessed people who have gone to an extent where they cannot even handle themselves in front of a lady because it's already affected their mind.
Yes.
So I wouldn't advocate anyone who is thinking going that way to get to that extent where they are too addicted to it, because inakuja na some negative impacts in your life in general. Because this guy angekuwa anapita mahali, he's actually just smelling the sperms, that is, because amejaculate almost like all the time that is in the class. So inakuwa ni ngumu. So ina affect a lot of people. So I think as much as people want to ignore or make it look like it's okay, to some extent, or to me, as my perspective, it's not okay, that is.
Okay. Aura.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Before I go to you, Jose, I have got 4 guys who want to join this and they don't know where to go. Can you just tell them where they're supposed to click and join?
Okay, on the bottom left corner, they'll see a what is it called? A request button.
Yes.
They just request, then you accept on your end, and they'll become speakers.
Yeah, but they're sending me requests, and they're saying they've sent a request, but I can't see any request from them.
They can try again.
Okay, so they can keep on trying and trying.
Yes.
So Omar and the other 2 fellows, just keep on trying so that I see you. I can't see any request from you people, even though you're sending me your screenshots that you've accepted, but I can't see that. So please send that. Now, Aura, back to you. What should someone do, apart from, of course, designing their environment, changing their environment, removing those pornographic material from their phones, from their laptops, staying away from movies on Netflix that talk about sex all the time, do away with music that promotes or inspires them to masturbate? What else can they do?
I also realized laziness contributes a lot. You know, when you really don't have anything constructive to do, and then you have a problem with masturbation, you'll find yourself engaging in the act. So I would advocate for constructive activities. Get something to do. Don't be too idle.
Yes.
Because idleness, as you know, you can do anything when you're idle, really.
Yes.
That most likely isn't constructive. At the same time, I recommend women. I recommend women.
What do you mean? What do you mean you recommend women?
Engage women. Engage women. You will always find one or two.
Approach.
Yes, approach. Just approach them. You know, you can never miss.
Okay, there are so many beautiful women out here who want to, who want to, feel the warmth of a man, but this man is choosing to masturbate. It's really anticlimax, honestly.
The men,
yes,
the men have gone into masturbation, and the women have gone. They are using sex toys.
Sex toys.
You've seen the influx of sex toys. They call it Rise at Home.
Yes. Now, I want to mention something here for my listeners. If you've sat in a class of total quality management, TQM, I'm sure you know the Japanese who are very good in total quality management. So there's something called addition by subtraction. Addition by subtraction. So you add the value of a product by subtracting waste, by removing friction, or by reducing friction. Now, if you want to beat masturbation, for us, our theory will be subtraction by addition. We add friction to our habit. So every time you feel like you want to masturbate, you add friction. You punish yourself. For example, I want to share with you what I do to my my clients. One, when a craving strikes, I hope you guys have a pen, those who are addicted to masturbation. When a craving strikes, you do 10 push-ups. The moment you feel like, I just want to masturbate, you do 10 push-ups. Then you do what is called hard reset. Hard reset for your dopamine. So you 10 hours of blackouts from phones, TVs, and computers. So 10 hours, you are not anywhere near your phone, your TV, or computer. And if you must use a phone, then get the feature phone, the one that doesn't have the blue lights and the one that is not a smartphone, for calling and receiving calls only and texting. So 10 push-ups, 10 hours of hard reset. No phones, no TV, no computers. And then you go take a cold shower immediately. Right away, the moment that craving comes in. 10 push-ups, you rush to the bathroom, take a cold shower. That craving will go. But if that craving was so powerful that you ended up masturbating, despite the fact that you have removed all the cravings, all the cues from your environment, then you have to do 20 push-ups. Try your level best to do 20 push-ups. Then give yourself a 24-hour hard reset, 24-hour blackout. No TV, no phone, no computer, no nothing. 24 hours. Then cold shower every morning and evening for 2 days. Then give yourself some house activity, maybe cleaning the house. If you're a bachelor, of course, you go to the kitchen and clean your sink, clean your kitchen, do something. Distract your mind, distract your dopamine. Now, when you do those two kind of additions, that is friction, you do that daily, I can assure you that after 3 weeks, you will not be masturbating. Because you're trying to rewire your brain. You're trying to tell your brain, look here, boss, this is not what I was meant to do. And I want to repeat, masturbation is not spiritual. No pastor will pray for you and you will heal. Masturbation is a personal decision. Therefore, you need a personal initiative to beat it. Amerix will just give you will just give you the tips on how to beat it. But it is a personal initiative. Jose.
Yes.
Your final thoughts on masturbation.
My final thoughts on masturbation. I think men need to approach women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only. Men need to approach women. If you feel the urge to masturbate, you can engage in activities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to beat masturbation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just keep yourself busy. I think an idle mind. When you're idle, I think that's when people get those thoughts and start engaging in masturbation.
Thank you. Manaura, before I come to you, I just want to finish by saying this. If you find yourself having the urge to masturbate, even after eliminating the cues, then it means, one, you did not write your cues in a notebook. Ensure you write your cues in a notebook. And you say, my cues are, every time I see a naked woman, every time I listen to this music, every time I watch this movie, you write them down so that you keep on seeing that every time. Number two, you don't have something called a habit tracker. You don't track your habits. Number three, you are not committed. You don't have a commitment device. For example, punishing yourself is a commitment device. Or saying, every time I'll masturbate, I'll be sending 2,000 to my ex-girlfriend. The moment I masturbate, I just put 2,000 on my phone and send it to her. I don't tell her what the money is for. I don't pick her calls. I don't text her, but I just send her the money to punish myself. Number five, just like Aura has said, you are idle. You don't have a habit stacker or a morning routine like the 4 Bs. And most importantly, you don't fast. Fasting is the best thing for any person who is masturbating. Because fasting will teach you how to control your cravings. Fasting will teach you how to stop falling for your cravings. It will teach you how to manage your dopamine. And then you don't walk in the sun. You just lock yourself in the house. So if you fix this and you're addicted to masturbation, trust me, you're going to be out of it within no time. This man, Aura.
Yes, Eric.
You were saying something.
Was I really saying something? Because I think you and Jose have you've really blanketed most of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. But I can just say that, masturbation is destructive. That's a fact.
Okay.
In the long run, it's quite destructive. Women are better. Women feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Masturbation is an illusion. It's a mirage. As Jose said, find something to do.
Okay.
Just have an activity. Don't be idle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bravin, what do you say about those people out there who say Amerix is misleading men?
What I'd say is that if you have been following what you have been posting, that is, I think there's a lot that is there to be learned. So much is there, and in fact, most of the information you give there on your timeline, I think most people out there pay for it. So they should be appreciating it instead of actually shunning it. Because I can tell you, even me personally, I know people who might not be telling you probably on your DMs, or because maybe you have not read them. Some of them come to me and tell me that indeed what you have been showing them has been helping them in one way or the other. Because on my end, I deal with mental health field, and most of them actually say that by following some of the things you post on your timeline, it has helped them to cope with some of the challenges that they have. Yeah, so I think as much as majority of the people might say you are misleading them, other people, most people who have actually followed, because personally from my own perspective, picked a lot when it comes to health, that is. When it comes to losing weight, nimechukua everything, a lot of the things that we have been posting on the timeline, what have worked for me. I can say, si lazima mtu afuatilie kila kitu. You know, you can't do everything at a go, because sometimes it takes time to adjust. Hata mimi siwezi sema I'm following 100%, but what I picked is currently working for me. And with time, probably I might add on to it, but I can say it's been productive to follow you and what you have been posting, because imenisaidia when it comes to losing weight. And the autophagy, that is, imesaidia sana to my extent.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Seth, what do you want to tell us?
Hi everyone.
Yes, welcome Seth.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, for me, I've heard a lot and I like it because I'm also learning and about masturbation and everything. Okay, for me, it's a thing I would say. I have heard about ladies, people should look for ladies and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I would ask you, what is your opinion? Maybe let me say for my case. I find myself very busy. Every time you say people should be focused and that kind of stuff, busy, focused on their goals. Same way I get very focused and get very busy. And my social space get scattered, very small. And so I would ask, what is your opinion on this? What is it? Maybe because I find my social space very small. Having that, sometimes I'm also getting very single, even following your teachings and everything, getting very focused about life. So what would be your words to it?
What do you mean by your social space? Are you saying people who drink have more fun than you? That's what you're trying to say?
Okay, maybe I dropped those things. You said you personally. I started following you very when you started this Amerix thing, and I followed through. Dropped my social drinking class, and started having now to stay home, do some work, and so by that you find that you're maybe alone. Maybe I can say alone, yes.
Alone, yeah. Alone is okay, because alone you're focusing on your goals. But you see, when you want to improve your social space, there are other activities that are valuable that you can do. For example, joining a tribe of men, football, basketball, or going for a hike, going to the gym. I mean, there's so many other social activities that you can engage in, apart from drinking and going out to party with sluts. The best thing is join social activities that can build you. Joining a book club is a good social activity. Going to watch a play at Kenya National Theatre is also a good activity. Activities that build you and support your goals and purpose. That's what I mean. I don't mean locking yourself in the house and say, Amerix said we focus on our lives, so I'm not getting out of this house until I master web designing. No, it only means that you allocate most of your time on your purpose, but of course you plug into your social goals, going out, meeting friends, meeting people who add value to your life.
Okay.
Dr. Kingori.
Yes.
How are you, my brother?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you, sir.
How is everything?
Kila kitu iko salama.
Have you added some weight?
Yes. I've been 64 kgs for like I think 5 years now. But last I checked, last week I was 70.
Congratulations. Why do you want to be fat? Yet you've heard people say that the thinner the monkey, the longer the tail.
No. I don't want to be fat deliberately. I'm working on my. I want polished boobs. Nataka kuunga vizuri. Nicely.
Or you want to bulk up?
Yes.
Oh.
I think I'm tired of being. I'm tired of dealing with the question of you look smaller than you should be. Mm-hmm. So I just need to. I thought my beard would be enough to answer that question, but it's not working as I expect.
Okay. But yes. All right, let me not go to other personal questions. What is your view on masturbation? It's a silent pandemic. And before you came in,
yes, and I think
I got a DM from someone who is 38 years old, has been masturbating for the last 20 years.
Yes.
And last year,
that's talent.
He divorced. No, it's not talent. Don't trivialize it, Kingori. Please, this is not Wicked Edition.
Okay, so
yes. So he's been masturbating for the last 20 years. He just divorced last year because he had a lot of sexual issues with the wife. He could not rise to the occasion. Every time, of course, it leads to drinking and those kind of things. What is your view on it?
My view first, for the longest time, masturbation has been a silent conversation, chini ya maji. But then I don't know when this word kunyonga came on, it became normalized. It became now fun. People started talking about masturbation openly. And I think from statistics, different people rationalize the act based on what they believe in. Some people would say it's healthy, like I had earlier in this conversation. And, I describe myself, I consider myself a simple-minded man. I think some people are just too horny for life, and too horny to be in a relationship. So it depends on how you choose to get off. And I think the culture or the habit comes from what people are exposed to. Because when someone, I remember my first temptation to be recruited into the culture of masturbation was when Governor Anyang' Nyong'o went through surgery for prostate cancer. So I call it, as a man, ukisikia mayai yako imefura, you wonder where you are supposed to, what you are supposed to do with yes, you know what I mean. So the question now becomes, is it, no one teaches anyone how to masturbate. Most men actually stumble upon it accidentally.
How?
Most men yes.
How? Because what I know is that people masturbate because of peer influence. In high school, in primary, there are people who masturbate and they are 10 years old. Do you know that? 12 years old. I have clients who started masturbating at 12 years old.
Wow. The tricky, ukisema, when you say that peer influence, I didn't know, it makes it sound like they are masturbation gangs. Like, wadau, as in the Nyonga gang. As in, I've never known it to be on that level. I have always known it as a very private thing. Only as in that my observation is that it has been normalized when people started talking of the kunyonga culture, when people started now making fun of it in public. And I believe now when you see a monkey, nyani hafifu, a picture, nothing else added to it, you just know what it means. Like the dick has been rebranded, sorry to use that word. And I've not been exposed to masturbation to the level of people masturbating as a unit or in teams, like a peer influence. But I I've even checked. I've watched some videos back when I was trying to understand where the theories of whether it's a sin or not. I heard you mention that when people masturbate, it's something they're not proud of. It's a shortcut and stuff. And some people talk of how safe it is. You can't catch an STI unless mkono yako pia iko na mambo yake from or diseases from masturbation. So different people have different ways that they justify masturbation.
Yeah, and I think they also justify, because when you see people saying kunyonga and then they put their laugh emojis and put there some funny looking monkey, they're just trying to numb their addiction. They're just trying to numb their pain. They're just trying to numb themselves. They're just trying to say, I'm masturbating, but it's fine. Right? I'm looking for any lady here who can tell us anything about masturbation, and I don't see any. And before we close, I had 350,000 followers this week. I promised to give out books, and I just want to announce the winners here. The first one is Daddy's Girl 2022, who gets a book, An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. Then number 2, _Chepchumba gets a book, 1,000 Splendid Sun by Khalid Hosseini. Then number 3, Eddie Juma gets the book Unplugged Alpha by Richard Cooper. Then number 4, we have Victor _Isnas gets a book In Pursuit of Purpose by Miles Monroe. And then number 5 is some guy called Abundance King. He gets a book, The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. So guys, I really want to thank you. The other speakers could not join. I don't know why. So our space will end. I want to thank you so much. I'll be taking a break from Masculinity Saturday for 2 weeks. Go and refresh myself, read more, so that when I come and bring you content, it is a good content. I don't hate women. I want men to be good men, not men who abuse women, men who beat women, men who raise their hands on women instead of raising their prize. Raise your prize. Don't raise your hand on a woman. And if sluts and American feminists hate me, I don't care, because it's their problem. For us, we are Africans, and Africa is our business. So thank you very much for joining the space.
Quick one.
Yes, Kingori.
Quick one before you leave. I heard you mention that one of the ways to get rid to deal with addiction, masturbation addiction, is doing press-ups. Right? Is that the answer to the question of where you do with the excess energy that will lead you to masturbate? And could it be a misinterpretation, an interpretation that some of the people struggling with?
Okay, I don't understand the question, because your phone is your network is jerky.
I'm saying. You mentioned that one of the ways to deal with the masturbation addiction is to start doing press-ups. Probably my interpretation is this is to deal with excess energy.
No, not really. You don't need excess energy to, masturbate. Of course, there's energy that you use. But you came when I was talking about addition by subtraction and subtraction by addition. And I said we need to add friction to our habit. We need to punish ourselves. So doing the push-ups, taking cold water is resetting your dopamine. It's telling your dopamine, behave. Please behave. I don't want to masturbate. Behave. So you're punishing yourself. You're adding friction to your habits so that you don't do them again.
Just needed that clarification.
Maybe I wanted to add something.
Please add.
About, I also had a struggle, not with masturbation, but with gambling, maybe 2 years ago. And how I dealt with it, because I believe the same addiction is just addiction. Addiction to gambling and maybe addiction to masturbation would be very similar.
Yes, of course.
I woke up one day, I lost a bet. I lost so much money one night. And so I woke up this morning and I just did a value proportion. You wake up and write down. On this side, you write what you get, and the other side, you write what you're losing. And whenever I guess anybody who is health conscious will see that on your losing streak, you'll see that you're losing on your health. So you get angry. And when you get angry is when you have this desire. And anything that has desire is going to succeed. So you wake up and look at what you're losing. And maybe for anybody masturbating, you'll see there's a loss of focus. So anybody who is masturbating will see, I'm losing focus. So you wake up and you say, from today, I'm going to put up every bad decision about masturbation. So every bad decision you feel like you want to masturbate, you make sure you remember you already wrote down your decision and make the decision so much onto yourself. Like you make it so much, you remind yourself every day, every time, every moment. It comes into your mind every single second. I'm not doing this thing again. I'm not doing this thing again. When you say it so many times, you find that a replacement is found within no time. You even find yourself saying, I don't do those stuffs again. So maybe a decision from a desire would be the best thing for anybody who is masturbating. Because even if you talk to somebody, and even my friends had tried to talk me out of gambling, then it was hard. But when it is from a desire point of view and it is from persona, I guess that's the best point of dealing with any addiction.
Maybe to just add on what you're saying, for those who came late, I had mentioned the 4-phase pattern of habit formation. Cue, that is your environment. So there is a cue. Maybe you've watched a pornographic content. Then cravings. So you start having the craving. Then you respond. Now you start masturbating. Then you get the reward, the sexual satisfaction. So that's how a habit is formed. So once you eliminate your cues, that is, you redesign your environment, you become the architect of your environment instead of being the victim, and then you learn how to deal with cravings by the commitment device I mentioned, push-ups and cold water. Then you avoid the response. Definitely you'll not reach to the reward, and the dopamine will begin rewiring itself and telling you, boss, I accept the best way for us to have sex is by going down with a woman, not masturbating. And my final reminder to you is that masturbation is a bad habit. Predisposes you to sexual failure, erectile failure, low self-esteem, and low libido in women. Women who masturbate mostly have low libido. They are not interested in sex at all. So if your woman is telling you, darling or sweet, today I don't want to have sex, and tomorrow I don't want to have sex, and there is no justifiable reason, maybe she doesn't have any vulvovaginal problem, maybe candidiasis or a UTI or an STI or something, then start thinking about her addiction to masturbation. That is something you need to find out. Ask her, darling, do you masturbate? Tell me. So that's it, guys, for this. Yes, we will not finish this discussion. I think when I come back, we will have this. Kingori, you want to say something?
It's me, actually.
Yes.
There's someone who sent me a question. I don't know if I can read it for you so that you can try to help them out.
Yes.
Yeah, he's saying that I have a 12-year-old son. Last month he saw his best friend masturbating, and now he doesn't want to talk to the friend. The friend is 14 years old. I don't know how to help the situation, and anytime I ask my son about it, he gets very angry. The friend has come to our place after that, but my son couldn't talk to him. I don't know how to tell the mom about it because she's always defensive about the son. Hide my name. Oh, okay. So they're asking how can they handle such a situation?
First of all, where is the father of this son?
I haven't asked that, so unless I ask that.
Yeah, you need to ask, because when it comes to issues of sexual activity in boys, it is the responsibility of the father to talk to this boy. Mothers cannot talk sex with boys. They can't, because they know nothing about the boy. They know nothing about the man. It is the responsibility. So if you're a man and you're listening here and you have a son, the moment your son gets to 9 years, 10 years, start sitting down with that fellow and talk to him directly. By the time he's getting to 11, 12 years, he'll start having erections in the morning. And what will happen if the father is not there? The mother will be castigating him. What are you doing? End of underwear. Toka, unatuonyesha nini? What are you showing us? But a father will tell the son, this is good, you're a man. This is an erection. And men erect. But what you need to do is, when you feel like you're erecting, just take a walk. You get the difference. So this boy is having issues with masturbation because no man has ever talked to him about men and sex. That's why he's feeling bad about it, because he might have heard from some women out there talking about men, the way men are sex predators, the way men are, very bad sex people, So this boy is associating the bad talk about sex and men with what he heard from the boy. So those two boys, they need to be connected to their father right away and be disconnected from their mothers on issues to do with sexual talk. Otherwise, that boy will be angry like that. 1 year down the line, he will say, let me also try to masturbate. My friend was masturbating last year and he's not dead. Let me masturbate also and see what will happen to me. So connect those two boys with their fathers and let their fathers talk to them. I remember last month I had a case of, there's a mother who called me from Athi River, and she found the son masturbating in the sitting room on the sofa. So this lady called me and she was really crying, and I asked her a question, where is the father? I said, the father is not here, we separated, but we talk. And I told her, get the father, tell the father to come and tell these issues to the father. So after 1 week, the father came, took the son, went with him to, I think, wherever he lives for 1 week. And when the boy came back, the boy, yes? So when the boy came back, the mother called me and said, the boy looks different and refreshed. He's not the boy I knew. He's different. He looks responsible and proud of himself. I think I'll be taking this boy to his father every end month. They go and stay there for 2 weeks. Then when he comes back, he's done. Then I told the mother, that's it. Boys need to connect with their fathers as early as 9, 10 years. Mothers who are single, they mess by keeping these boys away from their fathers. It is not right. Even if you had issues with the father, this is not about you and the father. This is about this boy and the future of this boy. So connect this boy with his father and allow this boy to talk to his father anything to do with sex. That's the best I can advise, Bravin.
Thank you. I think the person is on the space. Amesema asante.
All right. Any other question?
There's this one. This guy is asking me. I don't know if I should ask the question.
Yes.
Anasema, would you recommend couples to, suck each other during the romance stage? Does it have any effect?
Repeat, please.
Would you recommend couples to suck each other during the romance stage?
No.
Like anasema like the lady to help the guy to get erect before he penetrates. That's what he's saying.
That is a symptom of sexual failure. when you are asking your woman to help you erect, then you are failing. You are falling. It's just like licking her perineum. And we've said, even Rivellino says it. A man should not lick a woman's vagina. That's, women themselves don't like their vaginas. They don't even like seeing their vaginas. They don't. When I'm doing my ward round in the hospital, when you ask a woman about her private part, she feels so disgusted and she doesn't want to talk about it. Of course she must, because she needs to be treated. So who are you as a man, lowering your frame, bending down and licking her vagina? I've talked about this and people really almost killed me. But that's it. You can abuse me, you can say Amerix is outdated. I mean, it's only sluts who enjoy being licked. Feminine women don't. It's only manipulative and predatory women who enjoy being licked. Feminine women won't. A real woman does not want, she really values her private part, you know. But you are there, a man, going down and licking and just have sex. But the moment a woman starts touching you so that you get erect, and you go and fix your health. Because for a man, the moment you see a woman, your woman naked, I mean, you just erect. And we talked about the sex and the 4 C's of a woman's sex frame. I won't go into that. You know, foreplay, coreplay, and all those kind of plays. I won't go into that. So there are stages for you to get erect. But don't depend on a woman to touch you for you to get an erection. Don't depend on alcohol for you to get an erection. Don't depend on weed for you to get an erection. The moment you begin depending on other things, it means your testosterone is dysfunctional. So you need to work on your testosterone health, your hormonal health, your growth hormone, your testosterone, and your general health. Because an erection is an automatic event. We talked about this on Telegram channel when we were talking about erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation. So guys, allow me to leave. 2 weeks break. I'll be active on my Telegram channel, and also on Twitter. I'll be tweeting kidogo kidogo, but on your DMs, I'll be answering your DMs. There are so many, but I'm always honored to talk to you. I'm always honored meeting new friends and having a discussion. So Bravin, Aura, my friend Jose, Seth, Dr. Kingori, and Shiko. Guys, thank you very much for being part of this discussion. This discussion of masturbation has not ended. It will be picked next time. Have a wonderful evening, guys, and be blessed. Bye.